So wouldn't it be cool if you were driving down the highway and you looked up to your right and on the side of the highway you saw a big billboard that said hashtag silver squeeze or invest in silver or hashtag silver is money or silver is real money or anything like that? Wouldn't that be cool? Well, that's what the guys over at Wallstreetsilver are trying to do today. So if you guys don't know about Wallstreetsilver, it is a Reddit subreddit, a Reddit community that started just under a month ago on January 29th of 2021. And it started as a spin-off of Wall Street Bets. So during the GameStop squeeze, there were people that were making posts of Wall Street bets about the silver squeeze. You guys heard about silver squeeze on this channel and other YouTube channels like myself that like talking about silver. And essentially it was an attempt to squeeze the price of silver by making the physical demand insanely high. Now, the ripple effects from the original silver squeeze are still being seen today. Even though the spot price did initially jump on the day that the markets opened after this started, they went up to from 28 to 30. I even did a video on it myself where we actually watched the markets open up. Even though that happened, you saw that the silver price was suppressed very quickly back down into the 28s and 27s where it was originally. But one thing that did not change was the physical demand for silver. So even though the price of silver came down on the COMEX, the price of physical silver did not lower at all. In fact, you see the big retailers of silver like JM and SD and Atmex talking about 5 to 10 to 20 day waits sometimes to get your silver delivered to you. So that right there is evidence of a hashtag silver squeeze and originally what they wanted to do. Now, unfortunately, there's a lot of silver out there. And because of that, it's going to be really hard to squeeze silver unlike it was GameStop. There's a ton of silver and JP Morgan and other large banks have been manipulating the price of silver for a very long time. Of course, they want to keep the price of silver low so that they can continue to build their stockpile of silver because they know, like we know, that silver is underpriced. Now, as you guys know, I am not an alarmist and I'm not a doomsdayer. I don't believe that we're going to see silver go to $100 an ounce overnight. But what these guys are trying to do is raise awareness to it because if some scenarios play out, I guess that is something that could happen. Now, is it going to? I don't know. And I'm certainly not going to say it is or isn't, but I want to show you what they're trying to do over on GoFundMe right now. They are literally pushing to create billboards of about the silver and about the silver squeeze to raise more awareness to silver. So let's go ahead and head over to the GoFundMe and we'll talk a little bit more about what's going on while we're looking at the page. But really quick, before we get into it, guys, do me a favor. If you like videos like this and you want to see more videos about silver stacking, gold stacking, coin collecting, and more, do me a favor, click the like, subscribe, and click the bell so you get my future video notifications. Okay, guys, so we are over on the Silver Squeeze GoFundMe. Now, again, I am not saying yes or no. I'm not giving a recommendation as to whether you should or shouldn't donate to this Reddit. Or to this GoFundMe, I'm sorry. That is something that is up for you to decide. It's not for me to decide for you. And I'm not going to tell you one way or the other what I think you should do. That's totally up to you. But I did want to bring awareness to it because I think the idea is fantastic. And if executed properly, it could make an impact. I'm not saying it will. I don't know. It could, though. And I think it's a very interesting concept. So let's take a look at what's going on. So as you can see, Ivan B, we're just going to call him Ivan B because I'm not going to attempt to pronounce his last name. Ivan, I apologize, is organizing this fundraiser. And you can see it's just created 2 days ago. And take a look at this, guys. It already has $48,715 of its $50,000 goal. Now, when I first heard about this, I heard about it from an article on Zero Hedge, and they were actually showing it only had a $15,000 goal. So clearly it surpassed that, has a new goal of 50, and it's almost there again. 912 total donors, 828 people donated recently, as you can see, and it's been only around for 2 days. So if we take a look at what he's trying to do here, he says, and we'll read his words directly, he says, and we'll scroll in so you can see him. Here we go. He says, the silver movement will be epic. A couple of months or years down the lane and people will look back and say how this whole thing started. Some 20,000 like-minded guys got tired of manipulation and started doing something that banks had no defense for, buying physical. We chose to play the game on our turf and theirs. It's a matter of days or months when this community gets to 1 million plus. And imagine the horsepower when all these guys start buying. And by the way, that is huge. The Reddit community has bursted in just over a month to 35,000 people. 35,000 plus. That's more subscribers than I have on my channel. I've been doing this channel for a few years. Very, very awesome and growing very quickly. So, and he's right. He says, imagine when the community gets to 1 million plus. Guys, imagine a scenario, okay? I'm just going to throw the scenario out there. I don't know what's the exact population of the US. It's like 320 million or something like that. Don't make fun of me if I'm wrong, but I thought it was somewhere in that range. So imagine if half of the people in the United States bought silver, just 1 ounce. That'd be 160 million ounces of silver. That would absolutely cause a huge price spike, especially on the premium side, and probably would even affect the COMEX price as well. Imagine if half of the people in the US bought 5 ounces. Imagine if half of the people on the planet, over 7 billion people, bought 1 ounce of, even a half ounce of silver. Just imagine the amount of silver that would need to be procured, if you will, to cover that demand. It'd be insane. You would absolutely see a real physical silver squeeze, better than anything we've seen in the last month. Just huge. But let's just go back to the US. You know, if half of the people in the US, 160 million people or whatever it is, 1 ounce of silver, 160 million ounces, 5 ounces of silver, almost 1 billion ounces, just 5 ounces. At today's prices with premiums, you're looking at 150, 160 bucks. Wow. And yeah, it could definitely happen. So will that happen? I doubt that this is going to get big enough to cause it to happen, but I tell you what, it would be interesting to see what happens if we bring more awareness to the fact that silver is real money. If we bring more awareness to the fact that the fiat currency in your pocket is only worth what it is because people think it is. And that it can be printed on demand. They can create trillions of dollars of paper dollars just out of thin air. They can do that. So what's to stop them from continuing to do it? What's to stop the U.S.? And again, I'm not an alarmist, but what is actually there to stop the U.S. from creating $100 trillion bills like Zimbabwe did in 2006? You see my point? When you can just create the amount of money that you need to do whatever you want, you know, how long does it take before people lose faith in the currency? I mean, even the Fed chairman himself, the money is worth what it's worth because people have faith in the currency. But how much of it can you just create out of thin air before the people lose faith? So, very valid point. Silver is real money. And yeah, if you got more people to realize that, could you imagine? If a third of the people bought 5 ounces, I mean, still, if 1/4 of the people in the US bought 2 ounces of silver, that'd be 100 million ounces. Anyway, so he goes down, he says, this is a fundraiser for Billboards so we can raise awareness to the masses, and then he goes into what they'll be doing. So here, let's read the points. He says, we will be partnering with Chris Marcus from Arcadia Economics to ensure funds will be sent out to advertising companies for raising awareness for Silver Squeeze, and we will be posting pictures on Reddit community, Wallstreetsilver. So they'll actually be posting pictures of the billboards after they're put up. That's a good one. I'd like to hear that because, you know, obviously you want some sort of verification that the money is going where it's supposed to go. Number 2, we will be speaking with Patterson Billboard Company and Facebook advertising, Instagram, and YouTube advertising to ensure the funds are spent in the correct and most effective places. We will be posting receipts proving all the money will be spent on advertising at Wallstreetsilver community on Reddit. So that's a big one as well because, and I just want to point out that he does talk about YouTube advertising. I assure you that they are not sponsoring this video. No one is sponsoring this video. I heard about this yesterday and I thought, man, I should really share this with you guys because I thought it was pretty cool. But that'd be cool if they started reaching out to YouTubers like some of the big silver YouTubers. But the problem of reaching out to the big silver YouTubers, honestly, if you think about it, is most of the people that watch this channel already know about silver. So it's not going to do any benefit for us, for them to spend that money on, you know, having channels like us advertise it. They really need to spend it on other people or other advertisements and other videos to get people aware. You know, having us, you know, shout it to the rooftops ain't going to do anything because we're preaching to the choir, if you know what I'm saying. And then he goes on to what he says. My name is Ivan B. I was born and raised in Edmonton, Alberta. He says, I love Canada and have lived here my whole life. I'm 24 years old, born in January of 97. And then he says he knows Chris Marcus from Arcadia Economics. He is very well known in the silver industry, and he has his own YouTube channel, Twitter, and more. We are using money for advertising to raise awareness for silver. So, and then he goes on to list all the advertising companies that are participating. There's a little video by him as well if you want to check it out. And again, it goes down to how many people have donated, how many donations there were, who the organizer is. There's even comments. So there you go, guys. That is what's going on. I thought it was a very interesting thing that's going on. I wanted to share with you guys because something like this could make an impact. So it'd be really cool. Again, like I said at the beginning of the video, if you were driving down the street and you saw a big billboard that said hashtag silver squeeze or silver is money or something like that, it would be interesting to raise awareness. So anyway, guys, take it for what you will. Again, I'm not recommending or for or against the GoFundMe. That's totally up to you. But I did want to share it because I thought it was I thought the idea was pretty cool. The concept was pretty cool. And good luck to the guys over on Wallstreetsilver. You're awesome. Keep it up, and we'll see what happens. So there you go, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed the video. If you did, do me a favor. Like I said earlier, don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the bell so you don't miss my future notifications. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. I did leave a video above you can check out if you haven't seen it yet. I also want to give a huge shout out and a huge thank you to my awesome channel supporters scrolling right there on the right hand of the screen. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you in the next one.